today on Railroad Street. We're here today on Railroad Street. I had a long night, I didn't get a lot of sleep, but we're gonna put in this door. It's a 100-year-old house, it's gonna be a tough one. They always are. They're never level, they're never square, they're always out of rack. We're gonna make this look beautiful by the end of the day. And we're gonna hear a lot more trains throughout the day, I promise you that. When we order the new door, we measure these jamb thicknesses, and the new door will be made exactly to the specifications that we measure these to. So that way the new door fits just like the old door. So we don't try to alter the opening to accommodate just a standard size. This homeowner wanted it to look original, so we had the doors custom made to the original size thickness and size height as well. So once you make your 1-inch marks and then measure from mark to mark to make sure you have at least 36, if not 36 and a half. The challenge on many of these old doors is the threshold. When we order the jamb thickness, we can get that custom made by the factory, but when we rip out these old thresholds, we never know what we're going to find down here. I cannot believe that guy just drove by with that loud truck. So in this case, they've had a floor replaced, and so now we have a thickness here to deal with. Looks like this is a protective layer, maybe for moisture barrier, and this might be one of the original floorboards here, and then some of the original wood here. And this is old native lumber, so this is true 2x4s, unlike what we make today. So anyhow, we will cut and shape whatever we need to fill in this. If I set a door down here, this is too big of a lip and the door won't be able to open, so it'll actually hit here. So we need to build this back up to a certain height to get over this floor height here. If we set it too high, then it becomes a trip hazard. So that's why we want to really make sure that we accommodate the right height. We also want to make sure that we're high enough so when the door does open, we always like to have a rug here to wipe our shoes. So we want to make sure that we're not too close to this level when the door opens. We want to be up a little bit, but again, we don't want to be too high to create a trip hazard. So that's our challenge here for every threshold. These 8 3/4 minus 2 3/4 put you at 36, so it'd be kind of tight.
Yeah.
Special training for that.
Clean, crisp. Preston yelled at me last.
So this circular saw makes quick work of a straight cut like this at a long distance. But when you get to the corner here, the fence prevents you from getting all the way to the corner. So that's when you switch over to what we call a sawzall. Or a reciprocating saw, and this reciprocating saw then finishes off the top. Get these old nails out of here. Do you have a nail puller? Or
Yeah.
in case this hammer doesn't quite get it, or it's in the back of my truck. I just need to dig more. That is pretty good to level here. Why don't you give me a half shim and then a 1/3 shim. I'll put that little piece right here. That's, yep.
2 seconds later.
There you go. That'll take the twist out and we can check the level. Nice. Our hinge side, I always want to be just a fraction high. Yep, that's probably 1/8 inch high at the most, maybe 16 to an 1/8. That allows me room to make adjustments. If I had this side high, that door would rub and pinch on the weather strip on the bottom over here, and I'd never be able to get this down to accommodate. So by having this side slightly high like it is, that allows me room to adjust and float as needed. Take this back out, foam it, and put it right back in that same spot. This expands and it's a closed cell foam, and a closed cell foam will create millions of little air pockets to be an excellent insulator, but because it's a closed cell foam, when it cures it won't allow any water penetration. So it'll block any air, water, and help with noise and insects as well. But on top of this, we're going to set our 1x4 board perfectly level. That's what we have the shims for. Once we get the board on, then we create our pan system. So if any water gets around the door or through the door threshold by chance, it'll hit the pan and go out of the house. So that concrete right there, below that concrete is a well, and he believes that the pump right there goes to that well underneath that concrete slab over there. But if you look at this house, the door we are replacing is that door. Let me get my glove off. That door right there is the door we are replacing right now. But some of that detail is still there in the porch. This section of the building has been eliminated and is gone now. But all of this is original. And they've re-sided and they kept the original detail on some of the scallop siding. So they've done a nice job over the years as they made improvements and modernized it to keep some of the original detail. It's over 100 years old, but I don't have a date to this picture. That's perfect.
Perfect.
Same holes.
Should be awful darn close. Very good. Felt it going.
Nice. Just check for level first. I want to be just a hair high, which we are. Alright, this is the interior casing of the door. This is the original woodwork that was in the house, well over 100 years old. We want to reuse this because it matches all of the other windows and doors. But before we can reuse it, we need to pull out all the nails. So you can see quite a few of the nails still sticking out. So we're using a pair of dikes. Well, that's what we call them. Who knows what they're really called, but we've always called them dikes. And we just maneuver the nails out like that, and that gives it a nice clean finish and doesn't disturb or damage the wood.
Mike, Mike.